What is up, Team Happy and Fit? Happy Tuesday. Tuesdays are my favorite. Best practices, hearing from me or from other coaches in the network. We have such a special treat tonight. Kristi is going to be sharing her story. And okay, Kristi, I don't even know why we're not best friends, because boxer moms in California doing this full time, what the heck? Like, I literally look hashtags boxer owners because I'm like, we just need to be best friends, because boxer owners are just a whole nother level of, it's just different. I have boxer leggings. Faye has a million onesies of boxers. Anyway, it just made my heart very happy. And a little bit about Kristi. So one fun fact, I realized that I've seen you a lot on YouTube, and it just kind of came full circle. And I just am really appreciative that you leave your stuff public, because when I started 6 years ago, I didn't have an active sponsor and I just became massively resourceful. And so YouTube has been my greatest teacher in this business. And I thank you so much for that. She's a boxer mom, she's a wife, and she's an auntie. And I think something that I learned that was really, really powerful for me is that fitness changed your life, and you wanted to give that back to people because it saved you from depression and all these other things. But then you had a really successful job and you wanted to pay down debt, but you didn't want to pick up clocking in, obviously, probably because you were overworked and you didn't think about how would you even have the time to do that. You didn't want another boss, and probably even commute. California commute is crazy. And so it's almost like coaching just fell onto your lap in the perfect time. And I think that's so amazing that you just decided to go for it, because you were inspired by your coach, who is making $1,500 from her own hard work and learned skill and diligence, was making $1,500 a month. And that was just like, this makes so much sense. You are a bikini competitor, which I know some ladies on here are going to be so stoked to hear from you. And I also really love that you're a CrossFitter. I think that that's really powerful, because I think there's this weird stigma of it just needs to be one or the other. And what I have found in this business is that if you just love living fit, the person across the country might not have access to your CrossFit gym, but you can give them the tools of Beachbody, right? You said you love Shakeology, and I think that that's huge, because the ingredients in it, and yes, even if you eat clean, maybe the person who's a few hours away they don't have the access like you do. And so I just think that that's really amazing. And more than anything, what struck me when you shared a little bit about yourself to me was that how much you just want to pay this forward, and how much you want to change and impact other people. And you said, make a meaningful income. And I was like, tribe, because the way we lead on Happy and Fit is to live more fulfilled while reaching our limitless potential. A lot of times people think they'll get happy when, and I just think when you said that, I was like, you really do care. Like, you really want to make an impact. And I am very specific on who I want speaking to our crew, just because that's totally our mentality. It is such a special treat to have you here. Thank you so much.
Sorry. There you go. Thank you so much for that incredible introduction. She told you a big part of my story. I'm so excited to be here with you guys tonight. I typically just have like trainings that I've already prepared that I've done for other teams and bring them in. There was something stirring inside me that I knew I needed to create something different for you guys. And so actually, I spent like 3 or 4 hours creating a training today for you. And I have slides. It's not perfect because I'm not very tech savvy. They're not pretty, but I just had to get the information out so that I can stay on track and bring a ton of value to you guys today. I started this business back in 2011. So it was 9 years ago on April 1st, which is so crazy. And a few things that I think really stood out to me is that when I started this business, I started it because I didn't want a second job. I didn't want a second boss. I didn't want a second time clock, but I wanted a way to earn income that mattered, that really didn't feel like another job, and also to pay off my student loans. It was that simple. And I just wanted to earn $500 a month. And this said that I could do that. And I was so grateful. However, by month 2, I had decided after listening to the National Coach Wake Up Calls that I was going to go all in and leave my full-time job. And as soon as I made that switch to like, I am going to make this a full-time career, I actually was going back to get my master's while working full-time, and contacted them and said, like, I'm not coming. I'm not going to be in class tomorrow, because I just knew I was going to do this. But in month 2, I had fear and doubt that set in, and it was like, are you good enough? Like, you're at 0. I mean, yeah, you're in Success Club my first month. I helped 3 people, but you've helped 3 people. It's going to take you thousands to leave your full-time job. Who are you to think you can help thousands? And that almost stopped me. And the only reason it didn't stop me was because I took a step back and I said, okay, I can either choose to do this and help 3 to 5 people every month and get customers from the company and change my life and figure it out, or I cannot. I can give up and not go after this dream that I kind of had been hiding. I had been searching for something where I could work from home, where I could design my day, where I could design my schedule. And when I said that out loud to other people, everybody told me like, sorry, your job is life, just deal with it. And I was so tired of people telling me to deal with it. And this is exactly what I was looking for. So I made the decision to go all in. And it wasn't pretty. It was messy. My coach disappeared on week 2. And we had a call scheduled and she didn't answer. And she texted me and said, I'm going through a divorce. Like, you'll have to find another coach to help you. And I was like, I don't know anyone. We didn't have a team page. So I really had the National Coach Wake Up Calls. There weren't a ton of YouTube videos at the time. And I just plugged into those. We didn't have a tracker, a business tracker. We had what was called a 10 game plan commitment. And it was like this game plan of 10 things that you needed to do to build your business. It was everything on the tracker. But I went through one by one and I was like, oh, personal development, what's that? I don't need that. I'll cross that off. And then it was like, invite 2 to 5 people. And I'm like, well, I suck at this, so I should probably do 20 because that's not going to get me anywhere. And I just knew that I wasn't very good. Like, my first invite was, hey, I became a P90X coach. Did you want to try P90X? Would you like to buy it from me? And I wish I was kidding, because my biggest fear was being a salesperson, yet that's exactly what I did. Was all of a sudden I went from this person who at work was helping everyone with their fitness goals and so excited about that to trying to sell people things. And not that, like, yes, it is sales, right? I hate, like, sometimes people are like, oh, we don't sell, we share, but we need to sell people. We need to sell people on health and fitness. We need to sell them on living their best life. We need to sell them on feeling great. And if we aren't selling them on it, someone else is. And it's usually something that's going to keep them yo-yo dieting and stuck. And so I was that awful salesperson. And that was another reason in month 2 I wanted to kind of give up, was because I took that step back and was like, I feel icky and I don't want to feel icky. And so I was like, wait, this is your business. If you feel icky, change it. And so I did. And in month 2, all these fears and doubts were popping up, right? Because that was like a deciding factor. I'm going all in. Am I going to be clear to the universe? Am I going to be clear to God what I want? Or am I going to allow that to stop me? And I made that decision to go all in. And oh, did I get tested. In month 2, my grandfather passed away. We were taking a vacation. We were going to Wisconsin to visit my husband's family. And in traveling to Wisconsin for the week to see them, I had already used all my vacation time. So my grandfather passing away meant I had to drive 5 hours to say goodbye, drive 5 hours back, go on this trip to Wisconsin, come back, and then drive back for the funeral, and then drive back afterwards to get back to work because I didn't have extra time off. And we were moving, vacation, and losing my grandfather all in 1 month. I was working full time in finance, training for an Ironman another 20 hours a week, and building this business part-time on the side, and didn't have success to speak of. I earned $70 my first month as a coach. Each bite does not guarantee any level of success or income. You have to work for that. And I was super clear on where I wanted to go. And I showed up. And that month, I went from 2 coaches on my team in Emerald to Diamond Coach with 16 people on my team. And I share that because most people, if all that were on their plate, would put this on the back burner. But I was super clear on where I wanted to go. And it helped build my confidence to know that I could figure anything out. And so that was month 2. Month 3 was rough. I think I only enrolled 3 people. And I share that because you're going to have ups and downs in this business. But I still had the same enthusiasm in month 3 that I had in month 2 because I knew where I was going. I was super clear on where I was going. So fast forward a year in, my part-time income with coaching surpassed my full-time income in the financial industry. And I left my full-time job at a year and a half. Like, I love that story. But I was all in from month 2. And some of you might not be all in yet. And we're going to cover some of that tonight. So this training that I put together, the reason why I switched it is I had been doing trainings on how to become a rock star recruiter. And I'm a rock star recruiter. I wasn't always in the beginning, even when I left my full-time job a year and a half in. That second month, I was a really good recruiter. I followed up like crazy from the first month because I sucked so bad at those invites. I wanted to like redeem myself. But going over, month after month after month, it was very inconsistent. Some months I would enroll 1 coach to my team, and some months I would enroll 5. And I just didn't understand how to consistently enroll coaches to my team yet. But I was determined to figure it out. And so I put this training together on how to become a rockstar recruiter. And it hit me. My team used to be rockstar recruiters, and they haven't been lately. And the one thing that like stood out, and I called them out on this on Monday, and I'll get into this on the training too. I had to have like a bold, courageous conversation with the leaders on my team about why they're not recruiting and what is holding them back from growing an incredible team and having a bigger impact and building deeper depth and income in their business. And that's why I put this training together. I put this training together with them in mind, but then I was like, if they all need this, you all need this. And I'm so excited to bring it to you. It's the first time I've done it, so it's going to be a little messy. So I hope you guys will embrace the mess with me. Are you guys okay with that? Okay, awesome. And before I dive in, I also want to share with you. So if you there are tons of accolades in this business, right? Superstar Diamond, Millions Club, like all these fancy things, elite. And I've accomplished all of them, but I love what Julianne said at the beginning. Like, your happiness isn't tied to those moments. Your happiness is tied to right now, like the person that you want to become, the energy you want to bring, the focus and intent you bring to your life, the relationships you have, the goals you set, like all that stuff should fire you up and inspire you now. All those things are super cool. And they're obviously goals that we want to shoot for. But if you're not happy in this moment, you won't be happy when you reach those things. And I've seen coaches on my team that have reached 5-star elite, and they thought that they were going to just feel differently, and they weren't happy before, and they weren't happy when they reached that moment, that goal. Every single goal I've set from month 2 in this business, I brought so much happiness to what I was doing. And I think that really stems from the depression that I went through before coaching. And when I started coaching, I was still struggling with depression, just not as severely. But coaching really helped me to overcome it completely and to figure out how to generate happiness every single day, because it's work. So just side note on that, because wherever you're at in your business, I'm going to dive in today to why that happiness matters and how you can fight for it and have it too. Okay, so let me see if I can screen share. Let's see. I'm not very good with technology. You don't have to be to be successful in this business, guys. And people always tell me, "Oh, like don't say that." I'm like, "No, but I don't need to be great with it. Just the basics." Okay. No, not save. See, told you guys. Can you see it? Cool. I did it. Okay. All right. So how to attract the right leaders into your business and build a business and life you love is what I decided to title this. So let's begin. I want to start with I shared at the beginning, like I started with 0 customers and 0 coaches, just like every single one of you do. And the only difference in this business is you. So we're really going to dive into that tonight. But first off, what if I can answer, how do you actually find the right people to build a business? And how do you get those people to do something? If I could answer that, would that add value to your guys' night, to your life, to your business? Type yes if that would be of value to you. Want to make sure. Okay, Awesome. So we're excited then. Let's keep going. Okay, so first off is clarity. Clarity in what you want for your business. I think most people, if you strip away the 7 layers deep of anyone's why, it all comes down to freedom for something. Maybe it's freedom of time, freedom financially, freedom to spend your days the way you want, to design your schedule, to be home with your kids, whatever that is. There's always a level of personal freedom that we're after, and that is number one, what all humans want. A lot of people aren't willing to do the work. You all are here, so you are. So that is really exciting. And then I want you guys to go through some questions like, what's your current rank? What goals are you pushing for? What, maybe a rank goal, elite, success club, like what goals are you pushing for? And then who wants to build a large organization with freedom of time and have incredible impact? So what's your current rank? What goal are you pushing for? And who wants to build a large organization with freedom of time and incredible impact? And I'm going to see if I can pull up the chat really quickly so I can see. I'd love for you guys to chat. What are goals you're pushing for? Emerald, diamond, star diamond, 5-star, 2-star diamond, 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 2-star. 2-star, I love it. Second business centers, going for 2-star. You guys are incredible. I'm excited. This is going to be really exciting. Gold, diamond, business builder, current rate coach, lifetime emerald, gold, diamond, emerald, but want my diamond back. Diamond going to, oh, okay. This is going to be an incredible call. I'm so pumped right now. Okay, so I told you guys, and diamond going for 2-star. I told you guys I almost gave up because I saw that 0, right? And I'm like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to create this depth and income? And somehow, some way, I don't know what training I heard, and someone told me this business takes 5 people to create freedom. Have you guys ever heard that? This business takes 5 people to create freedom. 5 really great people. And that is really what helped me from thinking, okay, I have to give up, right? If I'm hitting Success Club and doing the work every single month and helping those people with where they're at, I can find 5 great people. 5 great people, okay. So first off, number one, and I'm going to get into steps of how to do that, but number one is you need to make a commitment to put your vitals on autopilot. So if you haven't been doing your vitals consistently for 90 days, that is my first challenge to you. Consistency to your vitals, challenging you today, every single day, 90 days, commit to those things, show up on autopilot. Of course, yes, consistency, but every time you don't do the behaviors that are getting you closer to your goals and dreams, you're decreasing your confidence account. One of my favorite books, 6 Months to 6 Figures with Peter Boogd, he talks about that. Every time you decrease that, like every decision you make either builds your confidence account or decreases it. Increases or decreases, just like a bank account, right? And so every time you show up and do those vital behaviors, you're increasing your confidence, you're increasing positive energy. When you don't do it, it's an energy suck because you immediately go into negative energy. I didn't get what I wanted to get done. I'm not moving closer to my goals. And then now that negative energy is stealing from your life. It's stealing time from you. It's stealing time from your family because that energy that you're giving to, I didn't do what I should have done and feeling guilty about it and feeling negatively about it, that's energy that's time and energy that's being taken from your children or your family or your dreams or helping that next person. That's super important. So while we're saying like, yes, consistency, the vitals, there's a bigger game here at play. Like you have to commit to them. I want you guys, if you haven't committed to them consistently, that's first what you need to get out of this call tonight. Commit to them. Vitals on autopilot for 90 days. You'll feel amazing. So think about a program. Say you commit to, what was a program that you committed to for the first time? And when you finished it, how did you feel? Beyond the results, right? The results are incredible, but how did you feel? You feel amazing. And it's not the results, it's that you committed to something and you stuck with it and you did the work and you showed up for the goals that you wanted for your life. And so that's what I'm asking you to do with your business. So that's number one. And number two, lots of you are saying diamond and 2-star, and I love it because I love big goals and I love big dreamers and I love people that go after it. But are you willing to do the work? So if your vitals aren't done today, when you get off this call, go do them. Go do them before you go to bed. Because that's first and foremost. We got to get that in check to get to the bigger level. Okay, so what do we do? Like if you're wanting to build a team, what do? We talk to people, we present the business to them, we follow up, and we teach them to build this business. Simply broken down, that's what we do. I will give you a few tips on this because there's a lot of things I want to cover, but when it comes to talking to people, the way that I like to ask people, I'm going to give you a story here. One of my friends, her and I were training for Ironman together. And I had already left my full-time job, and we were sitting at a coffee shop one day having coffee. We loved, after our swims, we would go do our swims for Ironman, and then we would go grab coffee. Well, this specific morning, she had called into work because she didn't want to go to work. And she was just like, I'm over it. I don't want to go to work today. So we were sitting at the coffee shop, and we had been there for a couple hours. And she's like, every time someone walks in the door, she's like hiding. And I'm like, what is going on? What is wrong with you? And she goes, if one of my coworkers or my boss walks in, I'm going to be in so much trouble. Like, so she's hiding out, and she goes, I just really love your life, Kristi. You just have the freedom. You're not worrying about a boss right now. You're sitting here at coffee with me. We went up for a swim. You haven't even started your work day, and we're just hanging out, and you're not like, I want that. And I was still pretty new in the business, and I didn't have the confidence at the moment to say, why aren't you doing what I do? I built that confidence later, but I still had confidence to ask her. So what I did was I went home. Oh, first off, she says, maybe I should open a coffee shop. And in my head, I'm thinking, no. Why would you open a coffee shop? You're going to be stuck there 60, 70 hours a week. You think you don't have freedom now? That's going to cost you $500,000, and you're not going to have any freedom. So I didn't say that because, again, I was kind of shy and didn't have the courage that I have now. I built that. But I went home and I messaged her on Google Chat, because that was the cool thing back. We didn't have Messenger. I messaged her on Google Chat and I said, hey, girl, I was thinking about our conversation, and I don't know why I didn't bring it up when we were talking, but I heard you. You know, you said you want freedom. Have you ever considered becoming a coach on my team? Have you ever considered? And she goes, I haven't. Can you send me more information? And I was like hitting my head, like, you haven't? I post about it all the time. And that was such a great lesson to me to ask everyone. So when it comes to talking to people now, when I reach out to somebody, I will tell them why I love them, why they inspire me, why I would want to work with them, why their energy matters, and the type of people I'm looking for on my team. And then I'll say, are you open to learning more? Are you open to learning how to help others and earn an extra income from home? Like, are you open to, and I'll change the wording depending on what I know about them and what I see on their social media profiles, or if I know them in person, it's the same thing. Like, are you open to learning more? I'm not asking them to sign up and do everything. I'm just asking if they're interested in learning more, because this could change their life. And I always end with that. I always say, if not, no worries. I just know how much of an impact this has had on my life and how much freedom Paul and I have been able to create for our families. And I love being able to pay this forward, right? So I talk to people. I let them tell me no, because I would rather them know what I do and that I have this opportunity for them, and then continue to follow up with them until they're ready. And then presenting the business. Maybe you use Carl's call from the coach office, or maybe you guys have a webinar or something that you send of your own, but you present the business to people, and then you consistently follow up. And then the ones, when they enroll, you teach them to build the business. It's very, very simple. Are we doing it? And this is really crucial, because I just shared what we do, and I kept sharing this over and over with my leaders. And like, they're not enrolling. And these are people that could before enroll 5 or 10 people every month, and they weren't enrolling people. And I couldn't figure out, like, I kind of knew their energy kind of sucked, but I'm like, what's missing, right? I'll get to it. So number 4, your job. Get good people into the business and have them help you, right? You're looking for those 5 good people. So our intention is We want the benefits of the freedom this offers. Maybe you want to earn $500 a month or $5,000 a month or $50,000 a month. Like all of those things are possible. Whatever your goal or dream is, it is possible. I'm here to tell you that that is possible. 50,000 plus a month is possible. Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. But you have to be willing to do the work to find those 5 great people. So that doesn't mean changing what you're doing. It means changing the intention with which you do it. The vitals, number 1, yes, you need to be doing them. But this way you're going to make decisions differently than only reaching Success Club. And this is what I was seeing with some of my leaders. They would earn Success Club. They'd be like, oh, I got to save for next month. I'm going to wait and not invite as much because I don't want to run out of people. Right? So it wasn't really an all-in mentality of going out there and doing the vitals with enthusiasm and intention to find those 5 people like them that really want to go all in with this business. So it's a different decision making, right? From earning to Success Club to really going out to find those people. Okay, so now what are the 3 steps to finding these people to build this business and getting them to do something? 3 steps. Simple. 1, 2, 3. Step 1, leading ourselves. So first off is you become a diamond, right? You have to become a diamond and lead the way in that, and then help 5 people become a diamond. So when I got started as a coach, the reason why I went diamond in 60 days, even though I had only enrolled 2 people my first month, and I think they were kind of pity enrollments. I didn't sign up my husband until the 2nd month, or he was my boyfriend at the time. But in month 2, or back when I got started, if you went diamond in 90 days, you could earn the Success Club trip. You had to earn Success Club for 6 months and earn so many Success Club points in those 6 months and be diamond in 90 days. That would get you on the Success Club trip if you started later in the year and didn't have 12 months of earning Success Club. And so I was like, well, if it's 90 days to diamond, I don't want to cut it too close. Like I'm going all in with diamond in 60 days. And that was my goal so that I could earn this trip. Because I led myself to diamond, I went out there and did the work to figure it out, to figure out what that looked like. Like I didn't say, oh, I'm only going to invite 10 people today. I'm going to go out there and talk to as many people as I can with the time that I have so that I can find people like me that want to do this. I can find people that are ready to change their life. Maybe they don't want to build a business like I do, but maybe they just want to lose 5 pounds or feel confident in their skin or earn $500 a month, whatever that is. But I'm going to go out there and find those people and get to diamond and lead myself to diamond. And then, I had this in mind that I'm going to go find 5 people like me. But it was different. It wasn't just earning Success Club 5. It was like, I'm going to figure this out. And of course, the how-to are your vitals, right? But it's not just the vitals. It's who you need to become. It's who you need to become. See, 100%, like the 100% we think we're giving is just a fraction of what we're capable of. And this is a perfect example. Just last month, I have a coach and a 5-star diamond. She's been premier twice. She's Miss Elite. And last year she was pregnant and had a baby. And since having the baby, she's been earning Success Club 5. And nothing wrong with that. But she has bigger goals than Success Club 5. She has goals of multiple 6 figures. She has goals of investing in real estate. She hired a nanny that comes in so she has time to focus on her business. So why Success Club 5? That's such a small fraction of what she's capable of. And I know it because I've seen her hit Success Club 30 before. But she had these limiting beliefs that that's all she could do with a baby. I'm like, no, you got to level up and grow into the person that you need to become to earn Success Club 20 or 30 to match your goals. And it goes back to the how-to are your vitals, right? She actually wasn't doing them all. She wasn't inviting to coaching. She wasn't posting about coaching. She was going the safe route and just posting about challenge groups and just posting about her challenge group results because that's where she was comfortable and that's where she felt comfortable getting people enrolled, thinking that, oh, if I build a team, I might not have time for them because I have a baby now. That's such a small fraction of what she's capable of. So we did a business boot camp in February. I keep wanting to say March, and it is March. We did an action business boot camp in February. Super simple, $20 buy-in. You had to buy in. If you checked in with the check-ins for the day, which was usually what are the names of 5 people you invited, or check in with your national coach wake-up call takeaways, things like that, things that are on the business tracker, 5 out of 7 days in the week, and you turned in your tracker with a minimum of 21 invites on Friday, you'd get your $20 back. If you didn't get your $20 back, and the pot went to everybody else. Super, super simple, right? But I told my leaders, you're not just helping me lead this group, you have to do the work too. You have to show up and check in just like everyone else is showing up and checking in. They had got comfortable thinking that like they're supposed to teach everybody else how to do it. But they invite, they are in Success Club, but at such a small fraction of their capability, right? She checked in every day, tracked everything. She earned Success Club 20. She's a new mom. She earned Success Club 20 after months and months and months of Success Club 5. The how-to are your vitals, but it's who you need to become. She needed to become a leader that was pushing comfort zones, a leader that's like, oh my goodness, I had a baby, but I can figure this out. I can figure out what this new norm looks like and still reach the goals that I have for my family, the legacy that I want to leave. Because something we don't really think about is the legacy you create for your family now, it not only impacts your children, it impacts their children and their children. It's actually, there's a book out there, I can't remember the name of it right now, that it talks about 7 generations deep. You are changing future generations in your family by showing up for your goals and dreams and figuring out what that next level of capability is for you. Okay. So step 1, still on step 1, leading ourselves. One of the biggest things is you have to be able to walk through your own crap and handle it instead of wallowing it, complaining about it, playing the victim. You have to get up and live big. You have to be the inspiration. And this is what I saw a lot of leaders on my team getting stuck. They were getting stuck and comfortable because they weren't growing as a person. And then their teams weren't growing. If you want to bring in other people, you have to be growing. You have to be getting uncomfortable. You have to be doing something and leading that way, because then they're inspired by the way you're living. If they don't feel that inspiration, if you don't feel inspired, people are not going to be inspired to join you. So what is going to inspire you? Usually it's getting outside your comfort zone. And so again, 5%, what you need to do, those vitals, if you aren't doing those, go back to those, commit to those for 90 days. But 95% of it is you becoming the best, sexiest, shiniest, most beautiful version of you, the brightest version of you. And sharing that story as you're becoming that and helping others do the same. So this is the big one. What are you avoiding? What are you not willing to do? What are you avoiding? What are you not willing to do? That avoidance right now in your business, that's the next level of growth for you. That's where the floodgates are going to open for inspiration for other people. When I made a decision to go diamond in 60 days, Emerald seemed like so simple for my team that I had so many emeralds because I shared all the uncomfortable things I was doing. The videos I started creating, my very first video, I looked down. I wouldn't even look straight. I looked down at the computer because I was so timid and I'm an introvert, and it just terrified me to be on social media. I wasn't on social media when I started this business. I didn't post. I didn't scroll. I didn't do any of it. I had to learn all that. But as I shared that and shared the growth through that, it inspired people that were not posting on social media. So the more bright, shiny, beautiful you become, again, the more your business is going to grow. What are you not willing to do? Maybe it's creating a coach like trial group for people, like a 5-day coach trial where you tell people exactly what to do every single day. They get a free 14-day trial or clean week, and you take them through the programs, and you have them post on social media, and you have them share their story through the 5 days on social media, and you have them maybe reach out and even invite people. Like, you're teaching them to be a coach and they're not even a coach. Maybe you do something like that to show them how simple coaching can be. Or you're like, oh, I'm not willing to do that. I don't know how to do that. Do it. Go figure it out. You'll feel amazing afterwards. And that's where your level of inspiration goes up. You have the ability. You just have to make the decision. So if you haven't committed to vitals, though, add that to your list. Talk to people, invite, follow up, talk about this business. If you're avoiding the vitals, add that to your list. But whatever else you're avoiding, add that to your list. That's where you're going to lead yourself. That's where you're going to inspire others. And I put at the bottom here, inspire others, get the poison out. We all have the negative stuff that pops up in our lives, right? It's how we react to those negative things. And I heard this story from another coach who was having a conversation with Carl. And he said that basically they said, like, Carl, how do you stay so focused and intentional and on mission for the goals that you have for this company? And he said, I'm constantly being bit by snakes and throwing them off of me. So I'm constantly being bit by snakes that are trying to poison me, and I'm getting the poison out as quick as possible. And I was like, oh, that's good, right? But someone says to you, and then you put it on repeat in your head. You get off a training and you're like, I didn't say it right. I didn't do it right. I wasn't right. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough for these people. And you put that on repeat in your head. That's poison. And that poison is walking around with you. Why do some coaches show up and do the work, do the vitals, but they're not seeing the success? And then others show up and do the work and do the vitals and they see the success. Same business. Dealing with your shit, it is what it comes back to, is because you have poison in you that you have to get out. You have to become that bright, shiny, beautiful version of you. You have to get, like, if you're walking around with poison of whatever that is, whatever fear, doubt, negativity that pops in, whatever somebody says, like, in 9 years, I've heard it all. I've had it all done to me. Please don't go search. I've had blogs written about me. I'm like, when I had a blog written about how bad of a person I was, it's like, I made it. I made it. I'm successful. Did it sting? Yes. It took me about a day to get over it, but I had to get that poison out quick if I wanted to get to the next level. I had to teach others how to overcome that, because you're going to have negative people that come into your life, and how do you react differently to that? Because every time something comes into our head, every time information comes into our brain, we interpret that information. We interpret it. That doesn't mean it's real, but we interpret it, and then we decide how much time and attention we're going to give to it. Most of us do this on autopilot. I want to challenge you to bring it to your conscious level of information comes into your brain, you interpret it. If this information is not serving you, you are not giving it more time and attention. What usually happens is information comes in, I'm not good enough, I'm not a good leader, I suck, she's better than me, that person knows how to speak and I don't, whatever it may be. And then you give a lots of time to that. And it goes on repeat in your head. And that poison, if you don't get that out, that's stealing from your greatness. That's stealing from your best self. That's stealing from your next level. That's stealing from your family, because that time that you're giving to that thought could be time that's given to your next level and learning the next skill and ability that you need, that someone else needs your story. You might not be Kristi, you might not be Julianne, but you're you. And the story you have, I told my team the other day, 98% of the people out there need your story. I asked one of the coaches on my, we had a one-on-one, and I said, how much did you earn last year? And she said $11,000. Beachbody does not guarantee any level of success or income. And I said, that's great. That's incredible. You have 3 kids. You're building this part-time on the side. Do you know I would have signed up with you if you told your story, but you don't tell it? I would have signed up for $11,000 a year, but you don't tell your story. You don't invite to coaching because you think you haven't earned six figures and you're not good enough. 98% of the people out there need your story. And you're comparing yourself to the 2% and you're not sharing it boldly and brightly enough. And you're not working on getting yourself to the next level because of that fear and doubt in your brain. You're not getting that poison out. And she got off and she did a live video and she goes, oh my goodness, here I am trying to tell other people to be grateful. And I wasn't even grateful. I wasn't even grateful for what this has given to me. Of course she couldn't get to the next level. She wasn't grateful for the level she was at. Why would the universe give her more? Because there was inside her poison that she thought she deserved more, wasn't getting more. Instead of working on herself, leading ourselves, number one. Step two, position yourself. Okay, so now you have coaches on your team. How do you get them to take action? It goes back to leading yourself always and bringing that inspiration that you're growing, that you're getting to the next level, that you're living the life that they want to live. So position yourself as a leader. Think of it this way, and I'm going to say this again. You take a string. If you have a string and you lay it on the table and you try to push the string, does it go anywhere? It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't move. It's really kind of pitiful, right? If you pull the string, it follows. You have to pull people through your inspiring story, through you going after it. And when I hit Diamond in 60 days, nobody said, oh, but how many people did you have to talk to make that happen? Nobody asked that. They're like, oh, you went Diamond in 60 days. Okay, I can do it too. Right? So people, when they come to your social media profiles or they're talking to you, they're asking themselves, can I do this? And can she help me? If I scroll through your social media and I don't know that you can help me, I'm not going to get started. If you don't ask me, I don't know that you can help me. I'm not going to get started. When I go through your social media, am I inspired to want to go after my dreams? Do I know that I can do this? So you are positioning yourself as a leader on your page through the story that you're sharing. But then once they get started, you're positioning yourself as a leader. And here's what I mean by that. What my coaches, not all of them, but a lot of them do. And I understand this because I struggled with this for 3 years. I stayed stuck at 5-star Diamond for 3 years. And this is what changed for me. I went from 5-star to 15-star. Okay, so I was 5-star, I think, up until maybe like year 4. And then like year 4 to 4 years and 9 months went to 15-star. What was the difference in that 9 months? The positioning of myself was a big one, and the person that I had grown to become. I'd grown in my leadership and my confidence and my authenticity to be who I was and not trying to be everybody else, but understanding that I knew the answers and all I had to do was teach my team what I'd done. So my GSR process. When someone gets started in this business, I am very forthright and courageous with them. And I tell them, I'm like, this business takes work. And you know what? It's really simple work, but it's non-negotiable if you want to grow this business into something that matters. It's very simple, but it's non-negotiable if you want to grow it into something that matters. And I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to be a manager. I'm not going to micromanage you. I am here to help guide you every step of the way. You continue to show up 5 years in, 8 years in, you will hit your goals because we will continue to show up until it happens. You have to do the work, but I will be here. And are you coachable? Can I have courageous conversations with you to point out the areas that you need to work on to grow into the person that you need to become to make this business work? So one of the first things I do when someone gets started is I send them an email that has a step-by-step checklist of the things that they need to do to get started with their business. And once they complete that, then they send me an email or a text, and we'll jump on the phone and go through their getting started right process. In the beginning, what I did, because I wanted everyone to be successful, was I would get them on the phone. GSR, they had done nothing in their business. I would talk to them for an hour, and then I would tell them exactly what they needed to go do. And then the next week we could get on the phone and they hadn't done anything, and I talked to them again for an hour. and I was draining myself. And I remember, because I was a 2-star diamond coach and, you know, like a year into this business, and my corporate mentor, she said, you have to stop doing that. You're draining yourself. My success partner, who was 20 years older than me, you have to stop doing that. You're draining yourself. And I was just, I can't stop doing it. I want to help them. I was the string. I was pushing it. Like, these people weren't going to do anything. And what it was doing was it was stealing from my time to go out there and find those 5 people that really want to do this business. It was stealing from time for me to grow myself to the next level, to dive into whatever skills and abilities I needed to improve on so that I could go inspire those people to take action. So I had to stop pulling people, and I had to position myself as a leader that I'm going to teach you how to do this, but you have to be willing to do the work. Step 3, mentoring others. Again, inspire them. Pull the string, don't push. That list you've been avoiding inspires them. That's where you start. The avoidance list you haven't been doing, like whatever that is for you, maybe it's doing stories, or maybe it's doing calls to actions, or maybe it's posting about coaching. A lot of my team wasn't posting about coaching. What do you know? They started posting about it and enrolled 5 coaches. Like, yes, they were doing the behind the scenes work and inviting, but they started posting about their story, about what coaching had done for them. They were shameful in what coaching had done because they didn't think it was enough. I would assign for $500 a month, but so many of you aren't out there sharing your story because you don't think that's enough. Then you're not able to mentor the next Kristi Kronser. So you can't inspire me if you're not doing those vitals. So what are you avoiding that you need to start doing, and how can you get better at your vitals? And number 3, mentoring others. I said this earlier, but speak courageously. You have to be able to call people out. And you can't do that if it goes back to step 1. You can't do that if you're not walking through your own crap and doing the work to figure it out. If you're not figuring out how to get the poison out, if you're not figuring out what that next level is, you can't ask others to do that, and you can't call them out. Therefore, you can't mentor them to the next level if you're not even willing to lead yourself and mentor yourself to the next level. But if you are willing to do the work, if you are willing to get yourself to that next level, then you have the courage to speak truth to people. I had a really hard conversation with my leaders on Monday, really hard. And that's still tough for me. I do it, but it's still a tough thing for me because that introvert, that people pleaser in me still wants to come out. But when I speak that hard stuff, they rise up. They know what to work on. They can see clearly what that next level is for them. They can see those things that are holding them back. We often can see that, and I'll see my leaders come to me, or new coaches come to me and say, well, my coach, you know, I signed up this person, and this is what they're doing, and this is what they're not doing. Like, oh, well, have you had a conversation with them about that? No. Like, that's all. We're building relationships, and some of that is just having really loving, courageous conversations to speak the truth that people need to hear. People, you want to have more, what's the word I'm looking for? Influence. You want to have more influence with people? Challenge them. Challenge them. And number 4, which is usually what coaches are really good about, believing in people. We see the power in people before they see it in themselves, and we're continuing to remind them of that power, right? So I told my coaches the other day on a Zoom that we had, I said, you all see this negative poison that you put on your head and repeat, and all I see is this incredible level of potential that every single one of you have because you show up and do the work. But they're showing up and doing the work and not getting the results because that 95% comes back to them growing into the person they need to become and getting rid of that poison. So I can continue believing in them, and I'll continue to speak truth courageously to them. And as they grow into the person they need to become, it's almost like they don't need me anymore after a certain point because they still come to me, but then they rise. And that's the last story I'm going to leave you with is Courtney Dunker. She finished last year, I want to say number 11 or number 12 in the company, somewhere in there. So bad, I don't even know, but she was up there. She was battling for the 10th spot, and she's been a coach for 4 years. And she was doing the work and hard. Like, this girl is one of those people that's on social media, figuring everything out, like posting, building relationships, doing it all. Her husband was a basketball player internationally. And so they were always traveling. She was away from family and friends. She doesn't have kids. She doesn't have a dog she can't travel with. Like, so she literally just poured like 12, 13, 14 hours into her business, right? And her income wasn't growing. And she would come to me so pissed off and so negative. And I had to speak truth courageously to her, right? And I believed in her, and I knew that she could reach. Her goal was, I want to hit elite. I want to be top 10. And I knew that she could get all of those things, but she had to grow herself. And so I had to speak I had to have some really tough conversations. And she continued to show up and do the work and do the work and do the work. And as she grew, her business grew, her business grew, her business grew. And now when you talk to her, she knows, she can see all that negative stuff that people say they're being positive and grateful, but when behind the scenes, they're really not. And so she can now speak that courageously to her team because she went through that, because she grew through that. So those things that you have to grow through, that poison that you have to get out, that becomes your biggest superpower if you don't let it stop you. That becomes your biggest success story. And that's a story that you get to go out there and share boldly to help more people change their lives. And I think, one more. The question isn't, can you do this? Oops, I made a typo. Isn't, can you do this? Or is this going to work? Or am I good enough? The question is, are you willing to do what it takes to grow into the person that you need to become? To own your life 100%. It's a decision tonight to go all in. Don't give yourself a back door, because if you do, you'll take it. And did I make it in time? I did. 8 minutes to spare.
So good. And I was just thinking about this. I'm so obsessed with this business. And the reason I'm obsessed with it is because it doesn't play favorites. It's not for the few. It's legitimately for whoever wants it. And your entire best practice right now was to help other people be successful. Like, you just gave your time and poured into to show what is possible. And then all I could think about with you mentoring and having courageous conversations, which, by the way, I really love how you worded things, is how the reason you do that is for their potential, because you know what this business can do for them. And that is what I love so much about this journey, is that so many coaches think that they have to, or people, even people who aren't on the team yet, they think they have to be a certain place. Life has to look a certain way in order for them to get started. But that's exactly it, is if you're going somewhere, that inspires the heck out of people. If you need to lose 100 pounds, it's not your transformation photo that's going to change the game. It's that you're willing to do something about it. If you are on your way to paying down debt or have more choices, and I think, like, just listening to your story, is that you were just so hungry for more choices and freedom to live a life by design in the way that you want to, but legitimately your job gets to be living fit while giving the tools to other people to do that. But the biggest part in this business that I so wish people gravitated towards was the income potential in this business, because people say, oh, life's fine. And I'm like, okay, but like, we've got to teach you how to dream bigger, because this opportunity and this income, which, by the way, is a complete reflection of you giving amazing tools to people that are so healthy and not a quick fix, that this income potential can do so much. Like, and it's just teaching people how to dream big. And I feel like that's what you're doing with your coaches. And it's just amazing how you're willing to lead, and you're willing to just share and show with them, listen, look what I've worked through. And that's what our business meetings get to be about. Our business meetings get to be about, listen about your potential, but 2, what like negative things are you holding on to? And then 3, this is all you have to do. It's so simple. And I don't know about all of your business meetings, where whatever, if it's a nurse meeting, a teacher meeting, whatever, we just talked about how it'd benefit the school, how it'd benefit the classroom, how it'd benefit the hospital, how it'd benefit whatever job you work for. That's what this is so awesome about working for yourself, because it's not just about what it's going to benefit towards you, it's how you get to develop other people. And Kristi, like, that was amazing. And thank you so much for that. Do you have a few
and then, like, to bring that all back, like when you grow into that person that has this belief and confidence and brightness, you bring that to your family. You bring that to any room you walk into.
Yeah.
And it's just a different light when you have grown through all that stuff. And I think most people in life have crap, right? We all have crap, and they just avoid it.
Yeah.
And in this business, to grow, we have to stop avoiding it and do the work to work through it. We become so much better because of it, and we inspire generations. You guys, I think about that all the time, like the ripple effect, the life that you're changing. Maybe you're helping someone lose 50 pounds or 100 pounds, and you earn some income or whatnot, but like it's even bigger than that. It's their kids growing up with a healthy mom. It's the people at work seeing this story unfold and now inspiring that person to go work out. So there are people that you don't financially get compensated for that you are impacting in so many ways. And a lot of times we just get in our head. And so we limit ourselves of what we can accomplish and the bigger impact we can have and more ripple effect that we can create. And I truly believe this is probably like, I don't know, people might think woo woo. I have this vision of my team being 100,000 people. You guys, we're not quite to 5,000 yet. And I'm like, we're going to be 100,000 people strong, because that might take me until I'm 100 years old. And I'm okay with that, because I think of the amount of lives that like this business really, I do believe, can change the world. Because there are lots of network marketing businesses, but a lot of them really are just selling a product. Like we are truly impacting change on a huge scale. And I'm so excited for your guys' futures and what you're going to accomplish. I really hope, I would love to know what stood out to you guys most in the call. If you would just like one takeaway that you're going to implement or something you're going to do after the end of this call. I'm really big on implementation. So what's one thing you're going to do? And it might not even be something I said. Maybe it was just a story that inspired something that you're going to go do.
So good. And what is your Instagram? So when they tag you from the call, they can share a takeaway.
Yeah, it's Kristi Kronser, just like my name is spelled right there. _ coach.
Coach. Cool.
Kronser is such a unique last name that it usually comes up.
Oh, yes. No, that is so great. And then I want to end on this is, can you just share, obviously month 2, even just signing up as a coach, which by the way is crazy to me that a lot of people when they start a business, they have to go $500,000 into debt to do that. And then when you talked about the coffee shop, I was like, yes, they have to create everything. They have to do everything. That's what makes this business so awesome, is everything's created, but you get to add your flavor and your flair and whatever makes you you. If you do like creating workouts, you still get to add that here. But all that work is done, and you just get to like believe in people. And I think the hardest part in this business is coaching yourself, not others, because everyone is awesome cheerleaders for other people. We want people to win. It's really coaching ourselves. But I'm sure as time went, your elevated vision just kept growing. So can you just share like, what has this opportunity done for you right now? Like, what is life like? And like, share it with us with that. It started with you failing your job, but like, tell us now, what is it?
So I left my job, and a few years later, we brought my husband home. A really, really cool story is about 3 years ago, he came to me and he actually said, he's like, I want to go back to work, and I want to get back into, he does city and regional planning, and I was like, I am all for whatever you want to do, but if you're working 40 hours a week, I'm traveling without you, because we have a lot of freedom. We have a couple cabins in Tahoe, and we spend the summers in Tahoe for 3 or 4 months. And then we live at our primary residence the rest of the time. So we get to spend, the best thing about Tahoe is that all of our family and friends who we maybe don't take time to see us the rest of the year all want to see us in Tahoe. So we literally have 4 months of like back-to-back weekends with family and friends, or weeks. And it's the best way to spend summer. It's like being a 15-year-old again with no responsibility. Super cool. But he came to me and said that he wanted to go back to work. And so he went and interviewed, got this job, 40 hours a week. He walks in on day 1. And he messages me and he's like, I can't do this. And he came home that night and he said, I walked in and had so much anxiety. I don't want to be stuck in an office for 40 hours a week. And he goes, I really want to have progress in this industry and I want to work, but I don't want to work 40 hours. I'm just going to go in and quit tomorrow. And I said, well, you know, we don't need the income. So what do you want? And he goes, well, I want to work like 24 hours a week and I want to work from home. And I said, okay, so go in and tell them. And he walked in. He was hired for a full-time position, 40 hours a week, 40 hours in the office. And he says, this is what I want. And if that doesn't work for you, that's totally okay. And if it does, great. And they're like, oh, that works for us. And it's then moved on. Now he has another job doing something that he's really passionate about. And again, part-time, he works from home. We have the freedom of choice. He didn't have to stay in a job that he didn't like, that brought him anxiety, that he didn't want to go to, and be stuck at work waiting for Fridays. He had the option. You know, his income is really, it's not about the income. Like the income doesn't matter. It's what he wants to do. And that's, I think, one of the biggest freedoms. We've been able to invest in real estate, which is something, when I started this business, I never knew that you could dream. Like that sounds so silly, but I remember in Tahoe when I was 15 years old, we used to go to Tahoe every month for 1 week, or every summer for 1 week. And our friends would let us stay in their cabin for free. And cause my dad left when I was younger. And when I would walk around and at night and look at all these cabins, I would think, oh gosh, what do these people do? Wouldn't that be nice? That'd be cool. Those people, it's just for those people, right? And when I started this business and listened to the National Coach Wake Up Calls, like these people are just like me. And I've had this dream of wanting more in my life. And now here's an opportunity right in front of me. I'm going to take it. And so when we bought those second homes in Tahoe, it was like such a surreal thing to bring me back to that 15-year-old vision of how do I own a home in Tahoe? And now we have 7 rental properties, or six rental properties, and we earn passive income that way. So we're able to really set ourselves up for retirement. And that's important to me because my mom doesn't have retirement, and I want to be able to, you know, help her and make sure that she's taken care of.
You just elevated a lot of people tonight because they are not dreaming like that. And because you were willing to put in the work and then do it, you're able to inspire so many people tonight with that story. There's a lot of people in California, I live in the Bay Area, that they have everything, but they're not there for it. They work all the hours, but they're not there for it. They have the families, they're not there for them. And I'm a full-time family too. And that's what I lead my team with, is more choices. I want you to have the choice. You don't have to ever leave your job, but I want you to have the choice. And I want you to be healthy and happy. You just invested in a business that will not go out of style, because health and wellness is for life. And this is healthy. Man.
So one big thing for me was when I had to drive up to say goodbye to my grandfather. And I didn't have the option of staying there. I didn't have the option of spending those last days with him. And that was something that I could have not built this business, right? Grief, everything you're going through. And instead I use that as fires to be like, no boss is ever going to tell me I can't be there ever again. Right. And then my niece, she, at the time, she's 11 now, but she was like 2. And in year 3, year 4, I lived in San Luis Obispo, and her 3rd and 4th year of life, she was riding horses and doing all these things. And I had to miss her shows because I couldn't drive 5 hours to see her. I didn't have in the early years, I didn't have the time off work. And so I was missing that. And this last Friday, 1:30 in the afternoon, she's in a spelling bee. She's 11 years old. I didn't know I was going to have twin nieces later. And therefore now I've been there. I saw them more in their first year of life than I saw Lily in her first 5 years. And that was a big reason why I built this business, was because of Lily, not knowing that I would have her sisters later. But being at her spelling bee, when I walked in the door, the teacher said, "Oh, you must be aunt and uncle." And I said, "Yeah." She goes, "She's told me twice today that you're coming. She's so excited that you're going to be here." And when she got up and she was 8 finalists and did her spelling bee, and then her classroom got ready to leave, and she ran over, and my dad, who I don't have a relationship with, was there with his girlfriend and my brother, and it's my sister-in-law, me and my husband. And she ran up and she gave me the biggest hug and ran out of the room. My husband goes, the only person that got a hug was you. It's being there for those moments. Like when she asked me to come, I said, give me the time. It's blocked out my calendar. I'll be there. I don't have to answer to a boss. And I saw too many women when I worked in the financial industry who missed out on their kids' plays. And my coworker told my boss, if you continue to tell me, no, I can't go to these things, Kristi's smart. She's not going to stay. And it was those things that really pushed me to go all in on this.
So